Queef.
Ejaculation.
Labia.
Douche.
Clitoris.
Fellatio.
Semen or cum.
Vaginal discharge.
Gonorrhea.
Cunnilingus. I don't know, cunnilingus. What does that even mean?
Cunnilingus.
Isn't that something?
Flatulence.
Vulva.
It's a clitoris.
Probably vagina.
P-U-S-S-Y. I can't stand the word, so I'm not even gonna say it.
Pussy.
I got a new kind of sexy. I'm working on a recipe for rich and exotic combinations of some fresh.
We are the UCLA Sex Squad.
We are a group of UCLA students, and we create a show about sex and sexual health that we take to high schools to open up a dialogue.
So what we do in Sex Squad really goes beyond sexual health and sex education. We really touch on all sorts of difficult topics for high school students, from like substance abuse with alcohol and drugs, to female empowerment, to LGBTQ issues, to, you know, we just touch on all sorts of topics. It's really a lot about empowering students to make their own choices and not just feeding them the facts.
I love the fact that Sex Squad, we're like a family. I love how comfortable and open and honest we are with each other. And that's something beautiful to have in my life specifically.
I think it's really cool that we're given this safe space where we're able to just be ourselves and to say what's on our mind and to say what we think is important. I'm also glad that we're able to talk about sexual education, sexual health in a way that's really engaging and really interesting to high school students to make them pay attention.
You guys made everything fun.
You don't get made us want to pay attention, I think.
Yeah, you never wanted to turn away or anything like that.
Like when I hear that, like 9th grade when I was learning about it, I'd be asleep every class. It was boring, yeah, but that one kept me up. And, like, it was interesting. In the beginning, when everyone was screaming, and all these noises, sex noises, like that doesn't happen in class.
Yeah, people just come out and moan.
Like as a society, we're either over-sexualized and like, but yet there's a lack of knowledge. Like sex is everywhere, but we're not allowed to talk about it.
The experience for myself, like learning a lot about my own sexuality, about how I want to take care of my own body and make my own choices, and wanting to in turn like share that with students because I never had that. And like the more that I'm in Sex Squad, the more I realize like if I would have had that, I would have been so much better off if I would have had an open space for dialogue.
Because I know some parents personally don't like to speak to the kids about that, and I feel like you guys are doing the job that they don't want to do.
So it's like it's art activism like to the max. Like it's what I love to do, and it's great to be able to express yourself and help people at the same time.
And then plus we get to talk about sex, so how could I not do it?
Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Sex Squad Street?
Sally, you should be able to talk to your partner about, you know, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. Yeah, what feels good.
Sex is supposed to feel good?
Yes, Sally, has anyone told you that you have a right to an orgasm?
Even me?
Even you, Sally. Yeah.
Oh.
Sex should feel good. You should be able to talk to your partner. Yeah, and you should be able to also talk to them about protection.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, would you maybe want to try some sex right now?
Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, hold on, let's go.
Okay.
Oh, let's get, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We should call it the UCLA Sex Squad. You know, let's just really call it for what it is, and let's do it in a humorous way, because isn't it like the football team? Isn't it something we really devote ourselves to? Isn't it something we wear a jersey for, so that we're identified to the world for being members of this group?
Some fresh kind of sexy, I'm new kind of sexy.
You know, Los Angeles comes from a state that's very, very liberal. And you're in a district that's very progressive, if not the most progressive in the nation. So, was it an ideal location to start? It was absolutely an ideal location to start.
We invited Peter Dirk Ace to come from South Africa and to share his approach.
Peter Durkhees is a South African artist and activist, and he works in South Africa and throughout all of Africa promoting HIV and AIDS awareness and sexual health awareness, which is something that's super taboo to talk about there. And he came to UCLA 2 years ago and did an intensive workshop, which is where the AIDS performance team was born.
Hello, my name is Pieter Durkhees, and I am a legal alien from South Africa to confront my terror of a virus that had no cure. I started going to schools in South Africa to entertain them with their fear, to help them laugh at fear and make it less fearful. And people said to me rather sarcastically, what's the point? What's the point? It's only a few kids, it makes no difference. What the hell do you think you're doing? And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew I had to do it.
And he introduced us to a really revolutionary concept that you can use humor to talk about HIV, and that not only can you, but you need to, because the moment you laugh at the thing that you've been so afraid of, you can suddenly talk about it in a new way. Once you let go of the tension, you let go of the fear, you let go of everything, and you're open to new ideas.
Oh, this is so not easy. Oh, I should have listened to my health teacher when he said to practice putting on a condom. It's way harder in the dark. It's way harder in the dark. Harder, 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 harder. Mr. Winky, get hard again. Mr. Winky, get hard again.
And so I asked Bobby if that next year he could take over, and that's the point at which we began to call it the UCLA Sex Squad.
And we've kept the work going and kept ourselves laughing and kept high school students laughing, and I think that the humor and the fun in the Sex Squad is such a crucial element, because it gives us the resilience that we need to deal with the hard stories.
My favorite parts are the process of creating the work, because that's when I think we as a collective learn the most about ourselves and about the issues that we really care about and what we think are really important.
Being able to talk, like getting just that time where we're all just kind of bonding and we were all playing games, and we made up dances and did an LA, we did the LA AIDS walk, which was amazing. So we were creating stuff, but we were also bonding, and I think that bond has been invaluable to us as a team.
I don't want to like be super hippy dippy and call it dance, but like the creative dance that happens when who knows what in the world's going to happen, and everyone is just going for it. And people like Sonia, who, you know, I remember meeting her and she's telling me she's not a performer, and then I'm watching her in scene after scene being amazing and hilarious.
This is mine. This body, this sex. It's not a textbook. It's not a magic trick. It's not a mistake. It's my yes. It's my no. This is mine.
And watching people realize that they have the agency to do it.
To be a part of the process where we were actually like workshopping and creating work, that was brand new for me, and it was so scary to be a part of and uncomfortable to be a part of, but like so challenging and really helps you grow as an artist. And I think, yeah, it's fun.
It's all the like just like rawness that happens in the process of making it. Even like the challenges of being like, I've made 7 skits today. I don't want to see these people anymore. Like even that process is like beautiful, right? Because you get like a lot of great work out of that as well.
There's a great focus on the stories that the Sex Squad wants to tell. When we first did it, we were given a theme and we were supposed to create skits around those themes, but now it really is born out of personal stories and out of what the UCLA students and the Sex Squad wants to say and wants to talk about and wants to share.
I've seen the Sex Squad take more and more ownership of the process. This year, more than any year, I watched the group become a really strong community and need me less and less, which as a director is like the ideal thing. You want to become irrelevant by the end of the process because the group owns the show and owns the experience so much that they know what to do. And I watched that happen more so than in any past years, and I think part of that is that the community became the strongest. We had a really interesting, weird, strange experience where we slept on the floor in one of the dance studios all together with ants crawling all over us, and it's the kind of bonding experience that you can't plan, but it just seemed like it was the beginning of the Sex Squad becoming something that it hadn't been before, where it really was a community of people creating work together and really coming together for a purpose, but also really enjoying being together. I've never seen a group of people have each other's back more than the Sex Squad.
I got a new kind of sexy.
Ready? Go.
What, you can't just put me on the
Stop smiling, just do it!
Get it.
Get it. Oh, here, wipe my lips!
Oh my goodness. I get two in my coat.
How y'all doing this morning? King Drew, how you doing? How y'all doing tonight and how you feeling this morning?
Hello, Hollywood High School!
Roll it all the way down.
Wait, what is that? I came really fast.
It was warmer than I expected.
In her car was a jumbo-sized box filled with 96 condoms.
I'm feeling good. The first show was interesting. I thought that the audience was tough, but after hearing reflections, I feel like it went well, so that makes me feel better. Looking forward to all the other shows.
You know, I didn't really realize we could talk about it and make it funny. You know?
Yeah.
Like, we can
And that's what I
make
knew we
fun
got
of that.
through, because that's what our whole thing is. Like, you can teach someone and still have fun at the same time.
Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Brooks, and when I was in high school, everyone was having sex except for me. At least that's what I thought. I thought I wasn't cool or I was weird or something. But there was one day in 10th grade that changed the way I thought about sex for the rest of my life. My friend decided to call up these two girls he knew. Now, I didn't personally know the girls that well, but one thing I did know was that they were down to do anything. We want to know who has the biggest one. And I got stuck in his little brother's room, where I started to try to get hard. After a couple minutes, I kind of snapped back into reality, realizing where I was, seeing the Spider-Man wallpaper, and kind of realized what exactly I was doing. Looking back at it now, it seems like such a huge exaggeration thinking everyone was having sex. And even if they were, so what? I know it might not be important for everyone, but it was very important for me to wait for the right moment to have sex. They're like, oh, you totally made that up, right? I'm like, no, I actually haven't. Like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yeah.
Going highway to... What? What the hell? That just ruined it. I don't want the camera on me when I'm singing. I love you. I love you more.
Let's get tested.
I don't even want to know if my parents knew they knew I was here.
¡Tarán! Juan, ¿qué estás haciendo aquí en esta casa de
Mom, Dad, what are you guys doing here?
The paleta man texted us and so told us. They're being responsible. Responsable? You stop sleeping around responsable? Around? How do you know he's sleeping around? But what if they're supposed to be safe?
How dare you throw water on my wife? Bleeding star. Sucio.
Sucio? I need water. And nothing's safe when you are sexually active. You're lucky I'm not the washer.
Hi! We just left Taft High School and now we're in the vehicle.
It's my choice to touch myself.
See, the media told me only guys masturbated, and when I wanted you, I thought that I was jaded. Damn, I must be obsessed with sex, right?
But how
talking about it and promoting being comfortable with talking about it and like talking about the different issues and creating a space for them to ask us questions. Or at least that's how I see it. I don't see it as promoting sex, but I see it as like it's okay to talk about it.
Welcome to your first Sex and Bond Choir rehearsal. So today we will be learning the song of the 5 fluids of HIV transmission. Blood! Freedom! Vaginal fluid! Vaginal fluid! Semen!
Got a new kind of sexy. I'm working on a recipe.
The neat thing about Sex Squad is that like we go and we share our like personal, honest experiences, and these kids are just like hearing things they've never heard before, and like I think that's so beautiful that like we're just so open with them.
But when everybody was singing their stories, I got really interested and I focused a lot, and it was just like wow, really that I could kind of connect to you in some sort of way, and you don't really feel left out.
Yeah, it definitely changed the way I thought, because like you know, you sometimes think you're the only person who goes through that.
To be able to always feel like the conversation is ongoing, even after you see a show like the Sex Squad, to know that the whole idea of it is that you can be participating in your own education, that you are empowered to make choices. That's something that's just omnipresent.
I didn't have someone that I could just be like, hey, you know, like, I want to talk about sex, and I have these questions. So knowing that we go into these schools and have a few minutes to just talk to them is really important to me. Because who knows if they get the opportunity elsewhere.
Because there's something about the laughter that happened in the room together, and then followed by the really intimate, brave stories coming from the college students that really inspires bravery on the part of the high school students.
They all felt a lot of pressure from like in the school. There's a lot of pressure to have sex. Her body reacted.
Yeah, like her body reacted, and ever since then, she's been abstinent, and she's still with that same girl, but for a year, and she likes like, no, we're not gonna do it.
Ya basta, es hora de empezar. Abre tus ojos.
One of the parts of the show where the guy was in the car with his father, and he came out to his father. He was like,
My heart pounded in my stomach, and I strained to breathe. It felt like there was no more oxygen in my car. And out of nowhere, I interrupted, Dad, I'm gay.
My friend was like, I want to be able to do that with my dad. I have the same situation with my dad, and it really connected with him.
For me to see it in the show and for it to be like okay, like it makes me think, wow, like I shouldn't be negative towards them just because my friends already know. So I should like be considerate of the way they feel, because that's who they are, you know. And just because my friends aren't gay or lesbian doesn't mean that like I can't have friends that are, you know.
I think like HIV, when she was like, she had all the coats on and the hats, it was you.
Yeah. This is like my barrier, right? What if he tries to kiss me? I don't want him to be able to get in here. I mean, if I'm gonna get HIV, I'll definitely get it by kissing it.
When that was pretty informative, because like I know a few people who would say, oh, I'm not gonna kiss him because he has HIV or whatever, something like that.
Or yeah, like sure.
Yeah, but now I can tell them you don't get it through saliva.
I finally got the courage to tell my friends that I had sex.
I can talk to my parents, even my dad at this point, and honestly I find his advice invaluable.
Sex Squad basically explains, in a fun way, it explains like what sex is and how to not be so uncomfortable for a lot of people.
How long is the show? It's like
45 minutes.
Yeah, you guys cover basically everything in that 45 minutes. Yeah.
Well, who's the program going to have the biggest impact on? Is it somebody who's received 3 hours of contact time? And luckily, we are seeing amazing results from that, phenomenal results. But is it more likely to be somebody who's received 3 hours of contact time, or somebody who's spent hundreds of hours working on developing the program, developing the material, being engaged in the performances, having these interactions with high school students? So you can see that actually the greatest potential of the program in some ways is to create an environment for personal growth, self-reflection, and decision making around sexuality for the participants from UCLA.
I think that we've all come a long way in our journey, and I don't think that any of us are the way that we were when we started.
There's so much stigma around sex, and it's such a taboo in our society, but I think that's one way that I've totally changed, and I think that's one way that I've seen people in the Sex Squad change, and like they take more, I think, pride in their own sexual health. I think they definitely are, there's been like a lessening of stigma and taboo around like talking about sex and about sexual issues, and I also think that people that see the show feel those same things as well.
And also just feeling a lot more empowered. I'll be walking down the street and like lines from Valine's piece, which is all about kind of female empowerment, will be going through my head.
If I'm being told not to love myself, how am I supposed to protect myself?
I resist. I resist society telling me to resist loving myself. So here I go.
These stories, I know we're the ones sharing them, but they touch me every time.
It's just something that's so valuable that it made me cry, that youth should know this. They should, especially the emphasis your group put in self-worth. In everything they presented, that was the message. The main message is self-worth and self-respect.
Fresh, kinda sexy, I'm new, kinda.
Has the UCLA Sex Squad sort of informed your future goals, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, totally. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Since I want to be a high school teacher, this is kind of a good opportunity for me to kind of be like that person up in front of an audience trying to teach. And I kind of find it interesting because I feel like I can use a lot of the stuff that I learned in Sex Squad in a classroom setting.
For me to be able afterwards to say to this room full of students, I graduated from a continuation high school also. I'm graduating from UCLA this year, and I'm on my way to law school. And if I can do it, there's no reason that you can't. And the response from those students, that is really why I enjoy doing this.
Do I think the model can be replicated and taken across the country? I think that's the real reason why we developed it in the way we did, was to make it replicable.
There were folks from the Deep South, especially from Arkansas, interestingly, who said, we need this program in the South. Our numbers are going up. We haven't developed new strategies for how to work with youth because we've been restricted by abstinence-only programming for such a long time. Could you adapt this program for the South? And you know, Bobby's the kind of person who would say, yeah.
There are so many, there's so many different opinions on what people should be talking about or what's okay to talk about, and the result is that a lot of conversations don't happen. And so I think that there's the model of talking about sex in an engaging, fun way is what we're bringing, and we're going to be collaborating with partners at the University of North Carolina and at the University of Emory to co-create a project that fits their context. So it's not California coming in and saying, here's the Sex Squad and do what we do. Far from that. It's going to be, this is what we've done in California. What can we do together in your community? What makes sense?
And by next January, we think we're going to have a program running simultaneously in LA, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia.
It's already going to be a national movement next year, but I only see more and more popping up, and I want to see a high school sex squad.
As soon as we left the workshops, me and another student, Katie, we wanted to start a sex squad here. Like, we thought we need that.
What advice would you give to a new sex squad?
I would say, don't be afraid. Like, just go. Like, I think I was afraid a lot of the time, but I think it's like you just gotta go for it.
Whatever it is, like, there's value to your story, and that's the cool thing about Sex Squad, is that it's not about people who are crazy about sex or like, it's just about, this is my experience in relation to sex and sex ed, and I want to share it with you.
Take chances, take risks, and just go for it.
And have fun. Have lots of fun. It always needs to be fun.
Keep the Sex Squad going.
Thank you. Yeah, I love Sex Squad.
Oh yeah, I love Sex Squad.
You're so
so beautiful.
recording?
Yes, I am.
Wait, quiet on the set, please. So, Sex Squad really goes. Blooper!
Pose 8. Pose 9. 10. Okay, now pick pick one of those.
Kind of like the one where my dick is gigantic.
What's that?
My dick is gigantic. Right?
I think that might not be the best first.
But I'm tired of being Mr. Sensitivity. I don't do this to pick up chicks. If I wanna play games, I'll pick up sticks. Heads up, 7 up, maybe some 2 square. I make hip hop.
We create a show about sex and sexual health, and we take it to LA USD High School.
Kiss the sky. I've never run it 'cause I don't smoke reds, blues, or greens. Never smoke leaves or trees or shrubberies. Only green leaves or likes is in my green tea.
Sebastian, I love you, and I know that you guys are working. Can we have like 5 seconds of nobody talking? Let's just have like, okay, ready?
So what we do in Sex Squad really goes beyond the sexual health and sex education.
Candid stuff. Time to be candid.
Oops, I said it, touching myself.
I know, I found one
Act like Christopher and start walking.
Hardcore!
Tacos!
I'm eating from the box of donuts.
Someone say something interesting.
Sadly, I'm not an American though.
Oh, all right, you're a grown up.
I'm just a teen. I feel like this is the teenager accent. Like, when you're like this, sir, please give me some money.
It's British puberty, isn't it?
And then you go like this, and it's a little bit more refined because you
You're on the spot now. I hope you're ready.
Now I can't do anything.
I had to convince him that I really had no choice in the matter.
Where are the stories like ours? Nope. Little girl decides not to divide. This is a really serious piece.
Let's hear it. What are you wiggling?
Everybody's still just standing in a circle.
Someone jump in! I don't know. Hey, no.
How does that feel? Luna bar.
This is so weird. Okay, I'm done.
Hi, Albert.
We're filming.
Are we allowed to use these cameras? Did they want us to use a nice one?
I don't know.
Who cares?
That we
I have to do it like this, huh?
I don't know.
Does this mean I start over?
No, we can't start over.
Hi, Emilio.
We're filming, Kenny.
Sorry.
Isaiah's interview, take 4.
Hi, welcome to Sex Squad Street. The talk.